Tatyana really didn't want to go to the club, but her friend Marinka began to persuade her. Tanya, why are you sitting at home all the time? As if you are not 19, but 45. You need to communicate with people. Show yourself. I don't want to show anything. Marinka ran to the mirror, straightened her short skirt, pulled up her neckline a little, from which, just in case, something would jump out. I can't walk like nun, Marina. She turned to Tanya. Look at yourself. Who do you look like? Who will pay attention to you? Marin, I don't want anyone to pay attention to me. I want to study normally, without being distracted by anything. Half an hour later, Marina persuaded Tatyana to go to the club. Although Tanya generally did not like noisy companies, Tanya decided to become a doctor for those who give life to other very young people. She came for 2 weeks, which caused Marinka's unspeakable joy. And it's only the first day at home, and Marinka is already dragging her to the club. In the club she immediately saw him. He was different from all the village boys. It would seem that everyone's clothes and age are almost the same, but there was something not local about him, either in his manner of behavior or in his gestures. The dancing was in full swing. Tanya hid safely in the corner and smiled quietly, watching her friend dance. Are you also uncomfortable in this noisy place? Tanya shuddered. The same young man stood next to her. She tried to smile. Well, it's not that I feel uneasy, but of course it would be better at home. May I sit down? Tanya raised her eyebrows in surprise. Local guys wouldn't ask permission. They would just sit next to him. After half an hour of trying to shout over the music, they went outside. How good. Sky. Space. Tanya smiled. And there were so many stars. Let's go for a walk. Kirill, that was the young man's name, turned out to be such an interesting conversationalist that Tanya did not notice how time flew by. When I looked at the clock, I gasped that morning was soon. Kirill was also surprised and volunteered to take her home. At the gate he asked, I hope we will meet again while I am here in exile? Are you in exile? So they definitely sent it to help your chairman carry out rationalization. He invited her to celebrate the new year together. She thought that they would be in company, but it turned out that Kirill only invited her, and she agreed. They celebrated the holiday wonderfully. On January 1st, everyone slept off the 2nd. Tanya waited the whole day, but Kirill never showed up. It was strange and somehow offensive, but Tanya drove away bad thoughts. Kirill is not like everyone else. He is different. She is confident in him. On the 3rd of January Marinka came. Are you sitting at home alone? Are you bored? Where's your boyfriend? Tanya shrugged. Get ready, Tanya. Let's go for a walk. Let him not think that you are shedding tears here. Tanya agreed, but at the club she immediately became bored, because Kirill was not there. She sat down in her favorite corner and looked at the door from time to time, hoping that Kirill would appear. They hoped that they will be able to talk. You're Tanya. She shuddered. An unfamiliar guy stood next to her, dressed like a clown. I mean, too bright and fashionable. I'm Tanya. And who are you? The guy unceremoniously sat down next to him and smiled. I recognized you right away. Kirill described you well. Well, why haven't you gotten bored yet? Where is Kirill? Tanya asked him. The young man laughed. But you are still more stupid than Kiryuka said about you. I repeat. Kirill left and they sent me in his place. So now you are not with Kirill, but with me. Tatyana was seized with horror. She pushed this guy away from her and ran. The young man jumped up. His eyes flashed angrily and wanted to run after her to explain that he was not used to such treatment. But Marinka stood in his way. Wow. He's so smart. Let's dance. While he was brushing off Marinka, Tanya managed to run away. Years have passed. Tatyana Alexandrovna, we will miss you very much. Tatyana accepted flowers and gifts. She could not even imagine that she would be seen off with such honors on her retirement. I would like to say, the chief doctor tapped the glass, and everyone turned to him. Tatyana Alexandrovna is not just an excellent specialist. She is a master of her craft. When everyone gave up, our Tanya could and did. I made approximate calculations here and you know what I did. Tatyana Alexandrovna helped bring into being a whole city. Everyone made a joyful noise and applauded, and Tatyana was embarrassed. So, the management of our hospital gives as a gift a 14-day trip to the best resort. We hope that Tatyana Alexandrovna will rest and change her mind about leaving us. 3 days later she was walking up the plane. The woman was going to forget everything for 14 days, including her work and her failed personal life. On the very first day, Tatyana went to the sea. The sanatorium was quite expensive. She wandered along the shore for more than an hour, and when she returned there was a real commotion in the lobby. Everyone was gesticulating and shouting so emotionally that Tanya did not immediately understand what was happening. The resident decided to give birth precisely at the moment when the working day ended and only the traumatologist remained on duty. Of course, he would have been able to deliver the baby, but something went wrong. They called a doctor from the city, but he will arrive in an hour. And the birth turned out to be really difficult. The woman in labor turned out to be a young girl. Why did you go so far in this situation? Tanya stroked her hair and the girl sighed. You see, I broke up with the child's father because he cheated on me, and my dad yelled at me and said that I need to think about the family, the child, and then about my own claims. But I can't do that. Tanya shook her head. Your dad is wrong. No, don't think he's very good to me. He just still considers me small and thinks that I'm not capable of making serious decisions. He will arrive soon and you will see that he is good. Well, that's enough. And I walk and think, what is it? Even my ears are burning. And this is my daughter praising me. Tatyana turned to this man. He suddenly froze and looked at her in surprise. Your dad has come. Well, I'm off. I have no doubt that your dad will do anything. Need to. The desire to relax in this place completely disappeared. Tanya locked herself in her room, hoping that the young mother would soon be taken away, and her dad would leave with her. A day later, she went out to the sea, stopped by the water and looked for a long time, into the distance. I knew you would wait, but I also have patience. Tanya turned around sharply. Kirill was standing next to her. Why aren't you with your daughter? My daughter is now undergoing the required procedures at the clinic. She turned away and then asked, What do you need? Kirill shrugged. I guess I want to ask for forgiveness. You know, I had a very eventful life with many events, more good than bad, but everything was spoiled by the realization of what I had done to the girl from the village. I was preparing for the wedding then, which of course I didn't tell you about. Suddenly, I had to come to your village. Well, somehow forgive me. I hope you're not too offended. Tanya grinned. And what exactly should I forgive? For the fact that you quietly abandoned me, or for the fact that you tried to pass it on to a friend as a passing banner? Kirill looked at her without understanding. This cannot be. Of course. I told him about you and even said that if the preparations for the wedding had not gone so far, then most likely I would have cancelled everything and come to you. It didn't suddenly become easy for Tanya. She laughed. I not only thought, but also hated you and all men. It's good that you and I met. It was as if a stone had fallen from my soul. I wanted to live, even though it was late. She walked along the beach, and Kirill looked after her for a long time, then followed her. Now it seemed to him that those years had not happened and Tanya had not changed at all. It doesn't matter at all what happened. Now he is free and so is she. He will ask for forgiveness and make her believe him, and they will be as happy as they can be. Tanya, wait. I need to tell you something. Thank you for being with us. Give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and you will be the first to listen to another new story.